Now, more than £8 million is being spent on our hospitals to create more same-sex accommodation for patients. The money will ensure that men and women won't have to share sleeping areas, bathrooms or toilets with patients of the opposite sex.
But some campaigners say this just doesn't go far enough. Our health correspondent Rob Sissons is in Derby for us tonight. Good evening to you, Rob.
Good evening, Anne. This is the shiny new Derby City General Hospital. In fact, if you take a look at it from the air, you can see just how vast this complex is. Now, a new hospital does actually make it a little bit easier to provide same-sex accommodation within the wards. There's more privacy, more dignity, more showers, separate bathrooms, and you can keep men and women apart. Now, I've been to another hospital that's a lot older, and it's a bit more difficult there. Queen's was set in stone, built over 30 years ago. Then same-sex accommodation wasn't a political issue. Now it is, so the hospital is to spend money improving the privacy and dignity of patients.
We're having improved signage, we're having refurbishment to wards and bathrooms and toilet facilities.
On this ward, men and women are kept in separate bays. Women down one end of the corridor, men down the other. Patients seem to like the separation.
Well, they're not near us, are they? So I don't think much about it, really.
I prefer to have a whole female ward. I think most women do, really.
When you're ill and in hospital, you lose some of your dignity some of the time. So I think it's more important for females to keep the dignity.
Creating more men-only and women-only wards, though, isn't practical, according to NHS managers.
In a ward where there are men and women that are separated, nursing staff will be observing their patients and there will be staff wandering around the ward. But actually, when patients are admitted and they're being cared for, they will still be in a dedicated and separate facility.
This campaigner welcomes extra investment, but says it's too little too late.
It's very difficult for anybody to understand unless they've actually lost their privacy on a ward where there are men wandering all round. They don't like it. If people are ill, they want privacy.
In Derby, Olive's on the mend after a fall. This hospital's got an advantage. Recently built, the gap between beds is bigger, there's more single rooms and dedicated bathrooms in each bay.
It's beautiful. I was absolutely amazed when I got here. It is, everything's wonderful.
Well, one satisfied customer there. Let's have a chat with Lynn Fryatt, who's got the job of Assistant Director of Nursing here at Derby Hospitals. You've been in the NHS, what, 30 years? When you started, it was those long Nightingale wards. A lot of those were separate, weren't they?
Yes, they were.
So, over time, we've moved to more bays. Now, are you really making a lot more effort to keep men and women apart?
I think we're very fortunate with Derby. We've got a hospital which has same-sex bays with en-suite facilities.
And the other issue is some patients I've met, some men, for example, have told me they don't want to be with all men. One said it's like being with a load of Victor Meldrew, grumpy men. They like some female company. It's going to be difficult to please everybody.
Yes, it is, but our patients, when they're poorly, feel quite vulnerable and worry around the little things of sharing facilities like toilets and washing.
Yeah. What about having entire wards then, all male, all female?
Well, even with a purpose-built hospital like ours, it isn't always going to be possible in areas like intensive care and A&E departments.
I mean, there are other important things there, aren't there, like keeping an eye on all the patients?
Yes, there is.
OK, well, it's lovely talking to you. Thanks very much. And I'm sure this is a subject that we'll be hearing a lot more of.
I'm sure we will, Rob. Thank you for now.